at the Research Project Office at the National Research Center, Mr. Alexey Moiseev, Life Science Solution Customer Consultant at Elsevier, Russia, Turkey, and CIS countries, joining us today from Russia. Mr. Khalid Chalain, Co-Research Solution Consultant at Elsevier, Africa, joining us from Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Al-Zahra Ahmed Al-Muefi, Assistant Researcher at the Child Health Department at the Medical Research Division of the National Research Center and Conference Unit member. It's my honor and privilege to be with all of you today as the organizer of the Elsevier National Research Center webinar series, Enhance Your Research with Elsevier. This afternoon, we will enjoy the 10th webinar within our special series, and the first one for the new year 2021, a workshop entitled How to Improve Research and Development Productivity with Reaxys. We actually have received over 850 registrations for this workshop, not only from the National Research Center, but also from various research institutes, academies, and universities all over Egypt, and also from countries in Africa, in Asia, and in the Middle East. At the National Research Center, we have a number of research divisions related in a way or another to chemistry, including both organic and inorganic chemical industry divisions, pharmaceutical industry research division, and a number of chemists in various other divisions at the National Research Center. All are eager to discover with us more about Reaxys. On behalf of Professor Mamdouh Mouawad, the Vice President of the National Research Center for Research Affairs and International Relations, Professor Hiba Rifai, the head of the conference unit, will now introduce our session. Welcome, Professor Hiba.
Thank you, Dr. Zahra. Good evening, Mr. Alexey, Professor Khalid, and Mr. Khalid. On behalf of the Vice President of the National Research Center for Research Affairs, Professor Dr. Mamdouh Mouawad, I'd like to welcome you all in this valuable webinar organized by our conference unit with the prominent Elsevier NRC webinar series, which we have been following with much interest through the past few months. The National Research Center, being the largest multidisciplinary research and development center, not only in Egypt, but also the Middle East, is devoted to basic and applied research within the major fields interest, and its publication rate has been constantly rising over the past few years. I wish this webinar will be of great value to all attendees from the research community aiming for more cooperation. I'm really optimistic about the great outcome from our conference unit fruitful collaboration with Elsevier and Egyptian Knowledge Bank so far. Wishing you all the best of luck for serving our research benefit. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Zahra.
Thank you very much, Professor Hiba, for this nice introduction. We will be waiting for Professor Khalid Abdelhamid Amara to join us as soon as possible. We also would like to welcome Mr. Andrei Khudashin, the Life Science Solution Manager at Elsevier, Russia, Turkey, and CIS countries, joining us also from Russia today. Thank you for being part of our event. Let me now introduce Professor Khalid Amara. Yes. Professor of Molecular Biology, Officer at the Research Project Office at the National Research Center, who has actually spent a lot of time and effort to negotiate allowing the access of Reaxys to be free again. Welcome, Professor Khalid.
Thanks. Dear colleagues, it's a great honor for me to introduce a new series of webinars planned especially to the NRC. I am grateful for the Elsevier team, especially my dear colleague Andrea Khudashin and of course Mr. Khalid Chalain, to direct their efforts to one of the leading institutes in Egypt. I would like to thank all the members of the conference unit, especially Professor Dr. Hiba Rifai and all of the NRC directly, and the new organizer, of course, Dr. Al-Zahra Ahmed, and wish her all the luck. All best luck. My special thanks to the respectable speaker, Mr. Alexey Moiseev. Finally, I wish all the participants benefit from this fruitful webinar. Thanks, and please accept my gratitude and my welcome in the NRC. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor Khalid, for being part of our event. And our solution today from Elsevier to enhance or improve research and development productivity is Reaxys. Reaxys is well known as a powerful data searching tool designed to retrieve chemical reactions, substance data, and other related information. It can be searched in a number of ways, including chemical structure, formula, and physical properties parameters. Let us learn more about Reaxys from our speaker today, Mr. Alexey Moiseev, the Life Science Solution Customer Consultant at Elsevier, Russia, Turkey, and CIS countries. Welcome, Mr. Alexey.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you, friends, for participation in the webinar, and that you found time for participation. In the beginning of the webinar, before I will start practical part, I'm asking Mr. Khalid Salah to show you how to get access to the Reaxys from the territory of Egypt, because it's separate. I'm located in Russia, and it's a pity that I cannot show you.
Sure. I'd like to welcome you all again. I'm just going to show you a little bit quickly how you could access Reaxys from the EKB. So can you let me check if you can. So as you know, the Egyptian Knowledge Bank provides access to a number of different solutions and content from more than 35 publishers and providers globally. The website itself, the ekb.eg website, is only accessible within Egypt. So this is why Alexey cannot log in to show you himself. Basically, if you go to ekb.eg, you can easily register an account on Egyptian Knowledge Bank if you haven't. You would pick the Scientific Research and Higher Education portal, where you need to be connected to the NRC network or to use an institutional email. Once you're registered, you will need to sign in. There appears to be some delay on my part. Apologies. I believe I might be having a little bit of a connection issue, maybe, or okay. If it's not showing now, I might be able to reiterate maybe to the end of the presentation here today. But basically, the steps goes like this. If you log into your account, you go to sources أو المصادر باللغة العربية بعد الدخول على الحساب. From sources, you can select all sources. It's working now. So if I sign in, and I'm signed in here, I have a researcher account أو حساب باحث. I go to sources أو المصادر باللغة العربية. Click on all sources. Among the list, I can see all the providers available on the Egyptian Knowledge Bank, including Elsevier. So some of Elsevier's solutions are grouped together under Elsevier here, like Science Direct, Scopus, and others. Some you can see them on the outside, like Clinical Key, for example, or Reaxys and SciVal, as you see here. So if I click on Reaxys, and then there is a description of what Reaxys does, and if I click on the link here for Reaxys, it will open Reaxys, where my institution will be identified as the Egyptian Knowledge Bank. Alternatively, if you are connected to the official network at the NRC and you click on reaxys.com, you will get access directly if you are on campus or if you are in your office and connected to the network. With that, I would relinquish back to Alexei to take us through a round of how we could capitalize on Reaxys for our own usage. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalid. I will continue with my part of this webinar. Thank you again for participation, and you find the time. Shortly, let's look at the agenda of this webinar. At the beginning, I will make short introduction to Reaxys. What is this? And then we will start practical part. I will show how to use structure editor Marvin.js and how to find the substances of your interest, and show other possibilities of this tool. Also, I will show shortly a ChemDraw.js tool. It's also integrated into Reaxys Synthesis Planner, show how to use text filters, and will show you some practical use cases in material science, in environment, and in other fields of that could be interesting for you. Let's start from the Reaxys. What is the Reaxys? Reaxys is the biggest chemistry information database that existing over the world. In reality, it's not just one database, it's 4 different databases, that database of substances, including more than 100 million of substances records, database of chemical reactions, the literature database, and of course, the most interesting part is the database of properties and experimental facts that was extracted from the literature, from patents, from journals, magazines, books, and from other sources. It's including a lot of fields of science and technology fields, like material science, environmental, geological facts, archaeology, nanotechnology, so on and so on. If your activity somehow connected to the chemical part, you will for sure find some application of Reaxys, and will find some use cases and some profit from this tool. What's the most important part? Reaxys focusing on the using information and helping you not to get information without reading the article, without reading books. You can directly use information from the database. Information is already extracted by machine and structured and checked by our specialists in life science, chemistry, biology, pharmacology, and so on. And you can directly use chemical and experimental facts without reading documents and without direct analysis. But if you need some document, if you need more detailed and deep analysis of your document, for sure you can get the links on the document and make more detailed analysis. And Reaxys saves you time to get, read and compare literature and experimental data. It's an excellent tool also for literature review, and really giving you possibility to get profit for your experiments. Reaxys is real comprehensive tool, giving you access to chemical, biological information, properties, and so on. It's not just tool for chemists, for structure search, for synthesis, but also for different fields of chemistry and life sciences. And more, as I was telling before, most interesting feature of Reaxys is extracted properties of substances. About 500 million experimental facts extracted from the books and magazines and patent, and you can easily use these facts directly without reading document and use the document in itself. And if you have some questions, you can place it in chat, and at the end of the webinar, I will try to answer all the questions, because I see some of you already sending the questions. Thank you very much. And also available, you can get directly all these experimental facts from the database, but also you can you can use this information. And also you have more than 100 search filters developed for chemists and life science specialists that allow you to find unique substances, unique materials with a unique combination of properties that exactly need for you, for your activity, for your scientific activities, for your developments, and so on. It's unique tool to find material and a substance that you need for your experiments and for your application and for your technology. All extracted data, all properties collected in the database, and you, for example, you need some information, for example, solubility of substance. You just find your substance, see all the properties, and easily can find all the extracted information about, for example, solubility in different solvents, in different temperatures. Everything that what extracted for solubility is available, and you can get it without reading. And all, and if you need full text of the document, you can get it on the publisher website. And let's switch from the presentation directly to the database. I will show you several examples directly in the live database. Sorry, let's go to Reaxys. First that you see, it's a quick search tool. It's excellent tool that you can use. You can just write the name of substance that you're interested in here, and get all the information that's available about this. For example, let's use some substances that interesting for you. I'm trying to enter paracetamol. And click on find, and database will find all the information about this. So from different database, from database of substance, a database of documents, and from the commercial substances. Let's click on substance. Here is about 500 of substances. The main name of paracetamol is 4-acetaminophenol. Let's click on this, and here you can find a lot of information about these substances, about this identification information, physical data like melting points, boiling points, sublimation information, and other things that could be interesting for you, and you can directly use it in your scientific work. Spectral data and other data that also can be useful. For example, if you're interested for some physical properties, you can find a lot of physical properties like chromatographic data, like adsorption data, density, melting points. For example, if you need melting points, you can get this information that was extracted from a lot of documents, that you see that melting point was extracted from the more than about 100 documents, and you can compare this data that was extracted. And if you need to check this information, you can also click on full text, and it will redirect you to the publisher website, and you will be able to find some more detailed information and learn the document. It's the most easiest way to find information. I will also show you more advanced tools how to use Reaxys. Let's click on QueryBuilder, and here you can find excellent instrument name create structure reaction drawing, and you have here Marvin.js and ChemDraw tool that help you to work with your chemical information. You can use standard tool. You can draw chemical structure using standard instrument that you are using every day. Or, for example, you can also insert your substance by using button insert structure from name. Click here, and for example, you can enter the name of a substance or CAS number or chemical number or smiles on somehow to identify your substance. Click and search, and your substance will be immediately shown into the structure editor. You can do everything with this tool. You can modify it as you want, to delete something, or add something as you want. Also, you can make a lot of different things. For example, you can use some special instrument for like position variation bond to place some groups in different position of this substance if you want, if you need this. If you will transfer this into query, you will find all the substances that confirm to your request. You see a lot of substances that totally fix to your request. Let's go back to QueryBuilder. And also, QueryBuilder have a lot of different instruments. It also have instrument for export and import. You can use other tools to create your request. For example, you can use ChemDraw editor, not just integrated in Reaxys, but also external editor if you want. Also have a lot of tools for export of your request, save to your hard drive, and integrate and also send it to other tools that you're using every day. I want to show you some interesting tools like R groups, for example. Or Reaxys group generics. You can place any group on this position. Using Reaxys group generics. More detailed information about Reaxys group generics you can find in the help, and where describe all the features of this tool. I place it here, letter G. It means everything, absolutely everything that existing in the database, and database which place on this position everything that it has inside of its memory, and try to find all the substances by that according by this request. Let's transfer to query. And click again to substance, and we'll find much more substances that fits to our request. Previously, it was about about 100 results. Now we have about 152 results that totally fit to our request. This is a really unique tool that helping find substances that's interesting for you. And also you can exactly show, exactly explain to database what you can place here. For example, using a group, smarter group tool. Let's click here, smarter group, and place here, for example, this R1, and then place what means this R1. Explain to Reaxys what you want from it. Place this thing here, a group attachment. Place here R1, and again, we explained that we want to place these halogens directly on R1 position, and database will again place this to this position. It's really a fantastic tool to request from the database exactly what you want. And it's for sure 1 hour it's not enough to show all the possibility of this tool. I will just show you some of the excellent instruments that it has. For example, you can use instrument like repeating unit here. You can tell Reaxys that we want to use this segment of the molecule and repeat it from, for example, from 2 to 5 times. It will be finding substances with this repeating place. Also, there is a lot of possibilities like like, for example, you can click on any place on the molecule and make change atom properties. For example, you want to charge some atom, or make a radical from it, or make isotope. For example, you can make carbon 13 if you want, and a lot of other possibilities that giving you excellent tool to search exactly that you need. Also, a couple of words about ChemDraw.js that integrated into the Reaxys. It also have a lot of different instruments and tools. If we're talking about tools that not existing in Marvin.js, but also useful, it's templates. A lot of aromatic templates, bicycling, conformance, metal sense, and so on and so on, that you can directly use from this tool. But let's go forward. If you are clicking to if you are going back to structure editor, you can also find some similar substances. You can find exactly that you as drawn, but also trying to find similar substances, switch to similar, for example. And if we transfer it to query, you can also can place how wide. Weird example. Let's go back again and let's go back to Marvin.js. I will show you how it works. If you are looking for similar substance, click to transfer to query, and then to substances. And you can switch how wide request you want: widest, wide, medium, and nearest. Depending from this, you will have a lot of you will have different result. For example, let's make wide search. We found similar to dimabond substance, and we continue search and learn all the substances with different tool. For example, some additional search by structure, search by substance classes, search by availability on market, and so on and so on, to to find exactly that you need, or search by molecule weight and other instrument. Reaxys have really a lot of tools to find exactly that you need. And also Reaxys and Structure Editor have excellent instrument for not only for finding substances, but also to find some chemical reactions that you need, that interesting for you. You can use here straight arrow, place it here. You can place plus here. This is the if you need some catalyzer, you can place also solvent, for example, you can place it here above 0, and it will Reaxys will find exactly that you need. And or you can make your request differently. For example, using the same straight arrow, you can place products here, the product that you need. And Reaxys will find chemical reaction which realize these products. The same as you're usually using every day in your practice. Also, I want to show you mapping. What you can explain to Reaxys which atom in products fits to initial material, and you can also, if you make some request, you can add some additional text fields. For example, if you want to set some experimental conditions like temperature, you can easily do it. You can find here temperature in reaction details, and to your initial request in QueryBuilder, you can also add temperature of reaction, and it will this tool will also you can set temperature below or above and or equal, and find some chemical reaction which goes with which condition that you need. If you are working with inorganic synthesis or inorganic substances, you can also use some very excellent tool that names molecular formula. Molecular formula. For example, you are looking for some molecules. Where is aluminum and aluminum and, for example, oxygen. You'll find you all substances which have oxygen and aluminum, so on and so on. And you can make as complex request as you want, with adding different text filters. Text filters like, for example, most interesting text fields, it's titles, abstract, and keywords that you can add to your request, and you can use logical operator between them. For example, you can add two titles, abstracts and keywords search tools, combine them in the group like this. And here, between molecule formula and this group, you're using AND logic. But here you can use, for example, or not logic to find exactly that you need. Or, for example, you can use near or next logic. It's absolutely unique instrument, near logic. When you are using near logic, you can Reaxys looking in the full text of documents all the keywords that you are trying to find, and find only document where one word is near to another, and you can make how near it should be. It should be one word between them, 4 words, 5 words, 6 words, 10 words, and so on, to find all the most relevant articles, most relevant documents that you need for your work and for your research. It gives you possibility really make very complex requests, and to find substances with absolutely unique combination of properties like adsorption properties, viscosity, dynamic viscosity, electrical properties, heat capacity, so on, magnetic data, crystal data, optic rotatory power. It's a lot of more than 600 filters, allowing to find exactly that you need to find really unique substances with unique properties that you needed for your research, for your technology, or for your development. I think we have some time. Yes, about 20 minutes. I want to show you some other use cases that you can use in your everyday practice. If you're interested for environment materials, there is a very interesting filters that you can use. For example, it's an interesting tool like biodegradation. Here you can, with this tool, you can find stability of substance in environment and in soil. You can find how your substance and material behavior in the environment, and also interesting filter. It's abiotic degradation and photolysis, also allowing to search and learn this behavior. And also these tools not only allow to learn stability, but also learn recycling of materials. for example, plastic recycling, and understand what to do with your material after end of the life of after it's stopped working, and how to utilize it. And also could be very useful tools, like, for example, you can use filter titles, abstracts, and keywords, and add sustainable and renewable materials, and will give you a lot of information. Also, I want to show you very useful tool here in QueryBuilder. You can see search field that allowing you to find different filters. So Reaxys has a lot of filters. It's complicated to remember well all these filters. You can search by search, and you can, for example, interesting filter is use. It's really interesting filter. You can write here the laboratory use and handling, and other use pattern. You can write everything that you need, medicine, pharmacology, ecology, so on and so on. It was some question, sorry, from Mohammed. Okay, let's continue. A lot of possibilities. For example, you can try to optimize your technology and try to find some more effective process. For example, you find you're developing some technology, you're developing synthesis of some substance. For example, if we found Dinibone, at any time we can click here to create synthesis plan, and we can create very easily synthesis plan of this material. By default, it's 5 different synthesis planners, and you can see easily all experimental procedure from and information from experiment was extracted from the article, and you don't need to go to full text because all the procedure is here. You can choose between these plans to find which synthesis plan is more interesting for you, where is used less aggressive conditions, less temperature, less pressure, or, for example, using some less toxic semi-products, so on and so on. And you can switch easily between different plans, and also for all of them experimental procedure is available, extracted from the document, and you can compare them and really make detailed synthesis of your substance. And what is important, in Reaxys available commercial availability of the substance from popular catalogs, like and also from the end of the last year, we integrated also new tool, commercial substances, that allowing you to find all supplier information, that from which supplier available your substances in different countries, in the United States, in China, in other regions. It means that you can optimize your synthesis depending from commercial availability, depending from toxicity, depending from synthesis conditions like temperature, pressure, so on and so on. It's really excellent tool. Also, you can easily export information. If you have some synthesis plan, you can make it very, very wide. And not depending from the complexity, you can export it in as PDF, as Word, and so on and so on. Everything that you developed in Reaxys, you can very easy export to your hard drive. For example, if you're interested for some substance, you can click on this substance or several substances and export to your hard drive in XML, in Excel format, or in Word format. It will be very, very big file that included a lot of information. Sometimes it takes 5-7 minutes to when database will collect all the information from the old document and will place it to your hard drive, and you will be able working with this offline. I want to show you some use cases in how to use Reaxys, for example, for material size. As I was showing today this example, using molecular formula, you can find, for example, aluminum oxide and different kind of aluminum oxide, and add this with, for example, use filter. I was already showing where it is, and add, for example, which material are used for ceramic, for example, or for other uses, and you will find materials that contain aluminum oxide and using in ceramic. Very, very simple sample how and showing your logic how to use Reaxys to find this information. And for example, you're working for developing some medical devices, and you're interested which substances are used for medical devices for biosensors. It's very easy also to use a filter use in Reaxys and with this filter biosense, and you will easily find all the substances that used in literature for biosensors, for example. After this webinar, I'm asking you if you want to make some exercises like using filter use or filter titles, abstracts, keywords, and other keywords to find some biomaterials, nanotechnology, for example, medical, dentist materials that's easy to find with this filter, ceramic, light alloys, laser additives, polymers, 3D printing, and other things. It's just to give you idea how to easy to find all this, how to use this text filter in Reaxys to find that you need to find some new application and commercial application for the materials. I think we have about 7 minutes to answer your questions. Everything that I was planning to show you today, I already shown. If you have some questions, you can send it into the chat, and I will, if I will able, I will answer. hopefully I've shown you today some examples that help you to understand that Reaxys, it's not only chemical tool, not only a tool for chemists, but also for different kinds. And you can find applications in Reaxys for pharmacology, for medical devices, for bioscience, biomedicine, using its filters. Probably some of you can ask me to show you some examples from your practice. Waiting for your questions. If no questions from you, it means I can ask question. Probably you can send in the chat how you find useful this tool, how to use Reaxys, how you're planning to use Reaxys in your everyday activity, and why you think it's useful.
لو حد من حضراتكم حابب يسأل أسئلة حتى لو بالعربي، لو حابب برضو احنا نقدر نترجم مع حضراتكم. وبرضو أليكسي كان بيحاول يسأل حضراتكم برضو، حتى لو ما عندكوش أسئلة برضو منتظرين نسمع تعليقات حضراتكم بخصوص رياكسس بشكل عام، وازاي ممكن حضراتكم شايفين ايه الاستخدامات اللي ممكن تكون مناسبة لشغل الريسيرش عند حضراتكم.
Alex, what I recommend you start when you're starting using Reaxys, collect your questions, collect your ideas. It's the first hour webinar after started subscription of Reaxys, but I'm sure it's not last. Here in this slide is my email. You can address your questions directly to me, or by or send it over organizers of the webinar as you want. And waiting for your questions.
I think we have a question regarding if we can find tools for plant and agricultural sciences.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the easiest way that I recommending to you to use QueryBuilder to find agriculture applications, and here in fields find use tool, for example, and show and in use pattern use agriculture. I recommend to use like this and find a lot of document with agriculture of which contain about 300,000 of substances and Reaxys, and the easiest way to use agricultural application is like this. and which exactly agricultural application you need. You can give more information which kind of substances you need. Probably it could be some insecticides and so on and so on. You can add additional filters like, for example, titles, abstracts, and keywords. You can add here in like something like this. Using AND logic, where it will be the agricultural application and insecticides. You can also make this request and find some documents for related to insects in agriculture. Switch to substance, for example. Probably you can find some more information depending on which application you need. It's just first step of search that I suggest to use for agriculture application. And to find exactly that you need, you can exactly use filter that connected to your scientific work, connected to your scientific activity and for your development.
Thank you very much for your answer.
You can tell me a little bit more which kind of agricultural application you need, and we can add some.
Yes, Dr. Haitham, who asked the question about the agricultural field. Could you please specify more which field of agriculture you need to know about, and we can help you?
Okay, first, thank you so much for this nice presentation and really nice tools. I really appreciate. This is first time for me to hear about this website and tools you just presented. So thank you again. For agriculture, I'm just wondering if we can find the tools for drawing some plants and some plants organs or some anatomy for leaves or roots or like this. This is what I'm wondering if we can have this tool. Will be amazing. Thank you.
Yes. You can to do this. You can use different filters, but also you can make add structure editor to draw some substance or that you exactly need. We're using structure editor.
All right. Thank you. Okay. I have one more question, if it is possible.
Yes.
Sometimes also we need to have a map, like a world map, in order to locate some or to make a survey on a particular area. So I'm just wondering also if we can find the tool to draw a map here. That also will be very nice. Thank you.
You're talking about structure or some other? What do you mean by map?
Like a world map. I wanna draw a map of a country or a particular area in a country for my research. Sometimes I wanna like locate some plants in this area. So if I can show the people where exactly in the world map, that would be great. Some tools already have the ability to draw this map. I'm wondering here also we can find this tool or not.
Yes. Please ask my colleague Khalid. As I remember, Elsevier have some tools for creating some maps.
Okay.
Some geographic tool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so you actually have access to one of the Elsevier solutions that are available. It's called GeoFacets. What GeoFacets does is that it collects information from papers and it puts it on geographical map. So you, instead of searching for papers, you would actually find the world map and you start looking for the data for a special region, and you will find the results from geoscience publications related to that area you're looking for. I might. It's. I believe we've had a previous.
yes.
A previous webinar on geofacets.
Okay.
On the same Facebook page or the YouTube channel for the NRC conference unit, or on Elsevier Africa channel as well. The solution name is geofacets. I can write it down on chat if you need to check it as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I missed that one. Thank you.
Yes, you can always go back to our YouTube channel. You will find all the recordings for the previous webinars organized within our webinar series, Elsevier NRC. And you can find it in like a playlist, and you can then find very easily this webinar, and you can just watch the video, and if you have any questions, we are here for answering.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hayes.
Bye. Thanks.
Mr. Alexa, I believe we have another question about the use of Reaxys. Is it used only for science fields, not for social sciences or humanities?
Difficult question, depending from what you want, because over the world, people are using Reaxys not only for exactly for scientific work. A lot of commercial organizations using Reaxys for some development, and it for sure probably some humanitarian questions could be covered. But I think you also have Science Direct and other tools that cover this. If it's somehow connected to life science or to chemistry, to pharmacology, for sure you can use Reaxys for this.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. I think we have another question. Or maybe we can ask a question using this comment. Dr. Sabah was thanking you very much for the presentation and asking about the use of Reaxys in biochemistry.
I have a little bit different version of Reaxys in biochemistry. I will show you. I am not sure that in Egypt you have this module bioactivity, but all mainly biochemistry things are already here. It's in vivo, in vitro activity, metabolism, pharmacokinetics, and other tools that you can easily take from Reaxys all this information. But as I know, it's not until now available in Egypt, but probably it will be available in future. All the information about pharmacokinetic metabolism extracted from the document and available here. And you can also extract this information and using into your scientific work. Also make some filters, for example, filter substance by targets for the molecules, and all these bioscience things. It's a very wide instrument. It take, I think, about 30 minutes only to show how it works. It's also allowing to find substance biochemical properties of substances and affinity to some biological targets and other things. But at the moment, for sure, you can also use this tool like use titles and abstracts to find information related to biotechnology, for example. By biotechnological filters, you can also using chromatography data. It's very popular biotechnological process. You can filter by chromatographic data by solvent, by TLC, liquid chromatography, other things, even solvent, eluent, and other things. You can find all the technological process using some eluent or some solvent or some sorbent for for biotechnology separation, for example. That's you can start using right now. And let's think, probably something else. It's that's things that you can use already now. Probably you can find here some information about filtration technologies, not so widely developed like chromatography data, because chromatography is really developed very well. You can find about electrophoresis, TLC, HPLC, and other things. Chromatography processes, and also you can place here some information about exactly about biotechnological process, like eluent, solvent, and to find processes similar to yours, to find something interesting that existing here. And of course, for spectroscopy data, you will find here very easy. It's also connected to biotechnologies, spectroscopy, a lot of spectroscopy information here. Also, a lot of spectroscopy data available for different substances available in database, for example, as I was showing you here. NMR spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy, and other things.
Yes.
If professor have some exactly question, he can readdress it to me. I will try to find exactly applications for himself. Feel free.
Yes. So if you have a further question, please write it in the chat box. We have another question from Dr. Marwa Abdelmetail. She's asking if she is about to search for a compound reaction, synthesis, or any data. She was wondering if Reaxys would give her all the articles about it. Can she depend on that? All the available articles.
Reaxys extracting information about from all related articles, and if you go to QueryBuilder, write some chemical reaction, place here some compounds. I don't know which compounds, like this. Make some chemical reaction. If you will find, if we will click on reactions, we will redirect it to databases related to chemical reactions. But if we will click here to another button, if we will click to documents, we will be redirected to the database related to documents. And here you will find all documents where existing these chemical reactions that you drawn, all similar reactions. Everything that was
nice.
published related to this, you will be linked here. It means that, as I was telling, there is several databases: database for documents, database for substances, database for reactions. You can easily switch between them. If you need to find some document, you can find it easily.
Yeah, that's very nice. Dr. Abir Muhammad Safwat was asking if she could use Reaxys for environmental fields, such as the impact of climate change on some chemicals or phenological plants.
The same, you can use filters, it's text filters to find it. For example, you can find some bioindicators. That probably it will help in climate changes to control some articles about this. But it's for to do this you can use standard text instruments.
Okay, she's asking maybe about climate changes.
Climate,
okay,
yes.
Can we, yeah.
Climate, the same things. I also recommend to use. Probably she will able to find some something here in titles, abstracts, and keywords. But it's also find documents. You can find it in the documents. About 500,000 documents related to climate, and then you can make some additional analysis. I'm really not sure that here in this example Reaxys will help more than Scopus, but probably yes, because there is some filters related to chemistry and life sciences. Probably will some index terms, additional index terms will help you. Humidity, solar radiation, that will find you to additional to climate. You can add some, for example, solar limit to this, or carbon. I recommend to play with this filter index term. Probably you will, it will give you idea how to find more related exactly to your scientific question, how to find documents related to your scientific questions. Probably it will be even more effective than looking in Scopus. I think yes, probably yes.
We have another question from Dr. Awad Said. He's asking, is there any ability to search for a structure using 3D, 3 dimensions?
Yes, you can switch in QueryBuilder in structure editor. You can switch to 3D vision. It's here. For example, you can, let's use some substance and switch to, you can rotate it in 3D. 3D vision is available here. Probably it will help you to have 3D vision of your substance. Well, you can easily switch to 2D. It is in 2D, it's more easy to change your molecule and working with this, but also can switch to 3D if needed.
That's great. I think we have another question. Maybe we should address it to Mr. Khalid about the logging into Reaxys from abroad.
Ms. Khalid, I will stop sharing to give you access to. Khalid, can you help? Are you still with us?
I'm afraid maybe he's not available. So I think the way to log in, as Mr. Khalid was explaining it at the beginning of the session, was using the EKB, the Egyptian Knowledge Bank, and this is you need to be in Egypt to use it. So I'm not sure if we have access to Reaxys free of charge outside Egypt. This is, I think, exclusive for EKB users from inside Egypt. If you have further details, Mr. Alexei, please share it with us.
I'm afraid to give you wrong information, but sometimes we are giving remote access to our databases. I don't know how you organize it in EKB. Really know any information about this?
Yes, regarding using EKB, we like Mr. Khalid showed us at the beginning of the session, you can log in through the EKB portal, and then you can register with your researcher account or your account that you have already at Elsevier or any of the Elsevier platform solutions, meaning Elsevier or Science Direct or your account that you are using to access these tools. You can use it from home, but you need to access at least once from your institution using your institutional email via the EKB portal, and then you will receive an email that you can use from home or to activate your remote access to EKB portal, and from there you can access Reaxys from home. That's the way we can use it inside Egypt. From abroad, if you already have an institutional email that is linked to an institution inside Egypt, I believe you can access institutional email. That's the way you I think we went over most of the question. We still have Dr. Awad asking, is all the given data extracted from articles or something might be expected by Reaxys? Actually, I don't really understand the question. If you could clarify what you mean, Dr. Awad. Is all the given data extracted from articles or something maybe expected by Reaxys? I think maybe he means if he's searching for some special data, will this be, the selection will be, I mean, the filters used by Reaxys could maybe give him all the data he needs, or maybe I think, Dr. Awad, you can use the filters to further search in more details about the topic you are looking for using Reaxys. Is that right, Mr. Alexei?
Yes, in Reaxys, all the information that at the moment in the version of Reaxys that you have in Egypt only information extracted from patents, from books, from the articles, from scientific journals, and you have a lot of filters to find exactly information that you need. And also, in the end of last year, we developed some prognostic instrument, which probably will be available for some of our customer that working with in chemistry. It's prognostic tool that can forecast for and prognosis of which reaction is possible to realize, which substances we able to synthesis. It's analyzing data existing in Reaxys, filtered data, and can make this prognosis. If interesting, we can make special webinar showing like it works, but at the moment, in the Reaxys version that you have in Egypt, information is only extracted from the magazines and from books and from the patents.
Yes, it would be really interesting if we could go through this in more details in an upcoming webinar. As Dr. Lubna was asking, how can I get all the upcoming webinars? Please follow our conference unit Facebook page. We will be announcing very soon about our upcoming webinars within the Elsevier NRC webinar series or other webinars organized by the conference unit at the National Research Center. We have a question from Dr. Abir Shady. At the search for any compound, can Reaxys surely tell me if that compound was synthesized before or not?
In Reaxys at the moment, only existing substances that was previously synthesized by chemists, and that was explained by chemists. But you also have some tool, I will show you, that also showing some substances that was never was synthesized before. It's a Markush structure, but it's only for patenting. Yeah, and because sometimes some chemists patent all the substances that is described by Markush structure. I can show you how it looks. If you will find. Here is, for example, one Markush structure. You can see. I will make a little bit bigger. A Markush structure explained all substances that have these R1, R2, and R3, and in Markush structure also in Markush detail explained what is R1, what is R2, and what is R3, and how it's explained in the patent. And I was telling also we're realizing special retrosynthesis instrument that explaining also in which substances that was never synthesized before are able to synthesize it or not, and which chemical reaction and in which condition. We have this instrument, but now at the moment it's not integrated into the current version of Reaxys.
We have another question from Dr. Haitham Zaki. How about citation? Do we need to cite Reaxys if we use this tool in our articles?
If you find something in Reaxys, for example, you find information about dimibone, some physical data, for example, some crystal property of the substance, crystal property of dimibone. You can use this information that it's yellow crystals, use it in your article, and also if you take the information from Reaxys, you also add in the literature review that this information you get from this article to show from where you got it. You don't need to read all the article, don't need to read full text. You already get the information from Reaxys, but in my understanding, it's better to place link on the source from where was extracted this information.
Yes, that he doesn't need to mention or to cite Reaxys as a tool.
Yes. Mention if you want. If you find that Reaxys it's an excellent tool that helped you, you can do it. But depending from you, if you want, yes, you can place information that you're using Reaxys to find this. If really it's helping you to make unique requests and without Reaxys is not able to find this information, I think it will be great to tell other colleagues that you find it in Reaxys. That you used Reaxys to find this unique information.
Actually, I would like to thank you personally for this very informative webinar. We have a very nice feedback about it till now. Most of the audience actually are thanking you very much, Mr. Alexey, for being with us today and for this very informative webinar. I think we have been through all the available questions I can see. Regarding the certificates, whoever is asking, we need to fill in the Google form to the end and fill the submission. So then you can find a Google Drive link where you will find your certificate and you can download it, but you have to wait like 5 minutes only to find the certificate ready inside the Google Drive link. So just be patient for 5 minutes and automatically you will find it also in your personal email that you use to register in the form. So just don't worry, it takes a few minutes to find it in the Google Drive link, a few hours, maybe 1 day or 2 as a maximum to find it in your personal email. Whoever registered in the form we are sharing in the chat box, either in the Zoom meeting here or in our broadcasting through the YouTube channel of the conference unit at the National Research Center, you will find the Google form. Just fill it till the end. Make sure you submitted it, and you will find your certificate exactly with the name you registered inside the form. So just search for your name inside the folder and you will find your certificates. I would recommend anyone who missed a part of the webinar to go to our YouTube channel. We have the link shared in the chat box. If you need to listen to this webinar once again. If you need to download to share it with whoever would be interested in Reaxys and was not available to join us live today. So please feel free to share the YouTube recording of our webinar today. Dr. Sayed has a final question. He is asking you, Mr. Alexi, if I have only the chemical structure of a compound, can I find its common name by Reaxys?
Yes, it's easy. You can, if you have chemical structure, you can if you have chemical structure, you can import it, download it, or draw it in Marvin.js structure editor, and you will, if it's existing in Reaxys, database will find it and give you all detailed information about this substance. And also you can place here name of chemical, class number, smiles, and something else to find the substance that you need. Sorry, look, something happened with my internet. Okay, yes, you can, if you have chemical structure, you can use Marvin.js. Oh, I wrongly understood the question. Might be, am I answered? What do you think?
Yes, I think so. He sent, I think, an example of a compound. I think, Dr. Said, you can just try to copy and paste your compound in the search box, just as Mr. Alexi just showed us, and I think you will find the name of the compound. Maybe I can, because he's sending it in a private message, I will share it for you, Mr. Alexi, in the chat box.
Yes,
this is the compound Dr. Said was asking about.
Let's try. Just copy paste it into Reaxys structure editor. Probably it will find it. If the easiest way, if you have is it correct? Looks we found that you need.
Yes, we hope this is what you need, Dr. Said.
Looks yes. Transfer to request. Like, click on substance database and all the information that we have about it. We have NMR spectroscopy information, infrared spectroscopy information about the substance, mass spectroscopy.
He's asking about the common name of this structure.
Name of the structure? Looks that chemist who synthesized this structure only as I understand, there is no any common name for this structure. Only UPAC explanation. But Reaxys ID, molecular cast number is a variable. You can easily identify this substance now by cast number. But as I see, there is no common name.
It is just the chemical name.
Just chemical name, cast number, molecular formula. In identification, you will find everything that existing for these substances and was extracted from all articles.
Yes. So we hope this answers your question.
Yes, if existing common name, you will find it here. If
it had a common name, you would find it in the identification.
Correctly.
Yes. Okay, I think we've been through all the questions. To whoever is sharing your email, you don't need to write it here in the chat box. If you already sent it in the form you submitted, then you will receive automatically your certificate in your inbox. So you don't need to write down your email again. I think that's it for the questions today. Hope everyone enjoyed, as I did, this very informative webinar. Thank you very much, Mr. Alexey Moiseev. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you very much, Mr. Alexey Moiseev, Life Science Solution Customer Consultant at Elsevier, Russia, Turkey, and CIS countries, who joined us today from Russia. Actually, we enjoyed the webinar very much. We learned a lot, and I was happy to learn that Reaxys can be used by other specialties than chemists, and that was surprisingly new for me. So I'm really glad to know this, and I hope everyone who was attending the webinar today can use Reaxys and can share this webinar recording with whoever might need to use Reaxys. Thank you, Mr. Khalid Shalem, Co-Research Solutions Consultant at Elsevier Africa, who joined us from Egypt today. Thank you, Professor Khalid Amaro, Professor of Molecular Biology and Officer at the Research Project Office at the National Research Center. Thank you, Professor Hiba Rifai, Head of the Conference Unit at the National Research Center, and all the Conference Unit team. I was with you today as the organizer of the webinar and the Elsevier NSC webinar series, Dr. Zahra Ahmed Al-Mwafi, Assistant Researcher at the Child Health Department at the Medical Research Division of the National Research Center. I hope you had a great time with us today, and keep following us at the Conference Unit Facebook page and YouTube channel for previous and upcoming webinars. We were glad and honored to work with you, Mr. Alexey, today, and I hope we can very soon organize maybe some more detailed workshop regarding Reaxys or any other tool we might use from Life Sciences team. Thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you very much for participation in the webinar. And have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening too, and thank you for all the audience from the National Research Center, from other academies and universities inside Egypt, and all over the countries who registered with us and attended our webinar today. Keep following us, and you will find whatever you need to hear about in the upcoming webinars. Please share it with us. We will be waiting to hear from you, and thank you very much for being part of our event today. Have a nice day.